You pray for rain, you gotta deal with the mud too. That's a part of it. Denzel Washington.
Sometimes, the most powerful thing you'll ever say in your life is one simple word. No, not in anger, not in pride, but in peace. Because after 40, you begin to understand that every yes you gave away too easily came with a cost, a piece of your time, a piece of your energy, a piece of your soul. And one day, you look around and realize you've been living for everyone else. Saying yes to people who drained you, yes to jobs that didn't fulfill you, yes to relationships that kept you small. And you wake up tired. Not just physically, tired in your spirit. That's when life whispers a truth that only age can teach. You don't need to please the world to have peace. You need to protect your world, to have freedom. For most of your life, saying yes felt like the right thing to do. You were raised to be kind, agreeable, reliable, to put others first. You said yes to invitations you didn't want. Yes to favors that cost you sleep. Yes to expectations that slowly erased who you are. You told yourself you were being generous, helpful, loving, but deep down, you were afraid. Afraid of disappointing others, afraid of conflict, afraid of being misunderstood. And so you kept saying yes, to stay liked, to stay safe, to stay accepted. But what no one tells you is this. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve your soul, you're silently saying no to yourself. You're rejecting your own peace, your own needs, your own truth. And that kind of rejection, it doesn't come from others. It comes from within. By the time you hit your 40s, you start to feel the weight of all those silent yeses. It's heavy. You feel it in your chest, in your posture, in the way your eyes lose a little light every time you compromise again. It's not weakness. It's exhaustion. The soul's fatigue from living in constant agreement. Because life after 40 isn't about being everything to everyone. It's about becoming something real to yourself. At some point, you begin to understand no isn't a wall, it's a door. It doesn't close your world, it protects it. When you say no, you are not rejecting people. You are redirecting energy. You are telling the universe, I'm done being everything but me. There's a quiet kind of power that comes with that. The kind that doesn't shout, doesn't fight, doesn't explain. It just stands. When you say no to drama, your mind gets quieter. When you say no to overworking, your body starts to heal. When you say no to fake connections, your soul breathes again. No is not negative. It's pure alignment. It's what happens when your spirit decides it's done living on autopilot, done chasing validation, done shrinking to make others comfortable. It's the moment you realize peace costs something, but it's cheaper than chaos. After 40, your no becomes less about resistance and more about refinement. You stop chasing the things that don't belong to you and start attracting what does. There's clarity in that, and freedom. You begin to notice who respects your boundaries and who only benefited from your lack of them. You see the difference between people who love you and people who love your compliance. And suddenly, you're not afraid anymore. Because no doesn't end relationships that are real. It only exposes the ones that were never built on truth. So you stand taller, you breathe easier, and for the first time in a long time, you start to feel like yourself again. There comes a moment, after 40, when the noise begins to fade, when you stop trying to prove your worth to people who never deserved front row seats in your life. You start choosing silence over arguments, boundaries over explanations, and alignment over approval. That's the shift. You stop asking, will they be okay if I say no? And start asking, will I be okay if I keep saying yes? That's when you begin to see the pattern. That every no you feared was really a bridge to a better version of you. You start saying no to what's familiar, so you can say yes to what's true. You stop negotiating with chaos. You stop apologizing for peace. And people notice. Some will call you distant. Some will say you've changed, and they'll be right. Because growth looks like distance to those who still live in distraction. But here's the truth. You're not growing colder. You're growing clearer. You're learning that protecting your energy isn't selfish. It's sacred. That peace doesn't mean the absence of noise. It means the presence of choice. And that's what no really is. Choice. The ability to walk away from what isn't meant for you without guilt, without explanation, without fear. After 40, your life begins to simplify. You realize you don't need as much as you thought you did. You don't need everyone's approval. You don't need constant connection. You just need alignment. And that comes from living your no with conviction. No to toxic people. No to burnout disguised as ambition. No to pretending you're fine when your soul is exhausted. Because every no you say with courage opens space for the yes that actually matters. Yes to your health. Yes to your peace. Yes to your purpose. You start walking lighter. You start breathing deeper. And you start realizing saying no isn't rejection. It's direction. It's not about closing doors. It's about opening the right ones. And that's where rebirth happens. In that space where you finally give yourself permission to stop, explaining your boundaries, and start living them. Where you don't chase love, you attract respect. Where you don't seek validation, you embody self-worth. Where you stop performing and start being. That's the kind of freedom you can't fake. It's not loud, it's not flashy, it's silent, and it's real. You carry yourself differently. You talk slower, you listen deeper, and people can feel it. Because a person who knows the power of no radiates peace without even trying. So if you're standing at that crossroads right now, between another yes that drains you and a no that could change you, choose yourself. Choose your peace. Choose your power. After 40, no is no longer rebellion. It's self-respect. It's wisdom. It's mastery. Because the moment you learn to say no is the moment you take your life back. No is how freedom sounds.